Hi, this is Bob Hilke at bobhilke.com, and we're going to take the Chevy Volt on a little ride. So right now the vehicle is off, and we're going to turn it on. So hope you heard that. Now the vehicle is on and we're all set to go. So we're just going to back out onto the street. And as you can tell, there's not much engine noise going on. That noise was actually the windshield wipers and the chainsaw at the neighbor's house. One of the things that you'll learn to enjoy missing in a Chevy Volt is all the noise of the engine, and also the shifting in a normal gasoline or diesel vehicle. You're going to have a lot of shifting as you slow down and accelerate. With the Chevy Volt, it's just as smooth as can be, smooth and quiet. We're approaching a stop sign, and now we're stopped. And it's as quiet as can be. It's like being on a bicycle with your foot on the ground. It's about that much noise. As we decelerate, approaching a stop sign, the Volt puts energy back into the battery. We'll demonstrate that here. We'll just go to the power flow diagram on the menu, and you'll see the arrows pointing which way the energy is flowing. Right now we're going down a little bit of a hill, and so the gravity is applying enough energy, so it's putting a reserve back into the battery for us, charging it as we move down the road. And that's called the regeneration of the power recovery, or regen power recovery. And again, once we're parked, there's absolutely no noise. It's as quiet as can be. Now we're going to put it in sport mode, which we do by selecting the drive mode, and we'll just step on the accelerator a little bit, and whoa, excuse me, I pressed a little too hard, didn't mean to lay some rubber there, but as you can see, it's a pretty peppy little car, and it's a real fun sports car to drive. It's a lot of fun. It's got that peppy car feel, but it sure doesn't have the gasoline footprint to go along with a sports car or a luxury car. Again, as we're driving down the road, we might need to brake a little bit like I'm doing now. Each time I put my foot gently on the brake, it regenerates energy back into the battery, so it's available for use again later. One thing that's a little hard to get used to in the Chevy Volt is knowing to go slow enough, because with it being so quiet and smooth, sometimes you don't realize how fast you're going. So I constantly have to watch the speedometer and be sure that I'm staying within the speed limit. It's a very comfortable driving car. It's got all the features you'd expect in a fairly decent luxury car. And when you put it on sport mode, it has the feel of a sports car, which is great. We'll just get out on the freeway a little bit, and so you can see what it's like to go at full speed on the road. As we're driving, you'll notice in the dashboard the little green globe that goes up and down. To get the best fuel economy, you want to keep that so that it's centered, with the ball spinning and the little leaf signs floating around in a circle. And we're just getting out onto the freeway entrance now. You can also see that at this point we have 36 miles available to us in the battery. And that's based on the most recent 500 miles actual results. Yep, there you can see it way over on the left. Okay, now we're at 50 miles per hour, and we'll get out onto the speed lane here. 65 miles per hour at the moment. So I guess the noise that we hear mostly is the wind, a little bit of that, and the tires on the pavement, and the other vehicles around us. Oh, and the windshield wipers. So we'll get off the freeway and pull back into the residential area. As we do, I'll just shift down into what I call what's the low gear, and that'll maximize the recovery of the energy back into the battery, because it uses the momentum of the engine to recoup additional electricity back into the battery without having to use the brake pedal at all. And so far, we're on battery 100% on this trip, and we would be for quite some time because we still have well over 30 miles of battery usage available to us before we would need to use the generator to supplement the battery supply. Another thing that the Volt is nice to do is to keep track of how many miles you go on a trip that are battery only and how many miles require gasoline. So it helps you to manage your usage very well. And during a trip, it also keeps track of how well you're conserving your energy resources. For example, right now we're not using any of the climate control features, but we could easily turn those on, and so we'll put it on eco mode, which the Volt will then decide what's the best the fan and heat and so forth settings to apply based on the current weather and temperature in the car. But based on how you have your settings, then you'll be able to see how much electricity you're using. So with it being on eco mode, it's still we're at 92% on our climate setting, which means we're doing pretty good for conserving energy. And even though I put it in sport mode and we had a little fun going out there on the freeway and driving fast, where we're not quite as efficient as if we were driving slow and being, mindful of how fast we accelerate. Even though we did all that, we're still at about 82% on the driver efficiency. It's hard to get 100%, but it can be done if you are careful. And I can usually get up well in the 90s without really thinking about it anymore. So once you get used to it, you can become a very efficient driver, and so then you can get the longer trips without having to recharge your battery. The Volt also has efficiency tips, which you can study. It'll describe all the strategy for how to get the best efficiency in your driving. Another feature that's nice on the Volt is it has the tire settings available to you, so you can see the pressure in each of the tires, and I see that I'll need to add a little pressure to one or two of the tires so that they're all balanced nicely. And the Volt Advisor suggests that we have 38 or 39 pounds per square inch in the tires. I believe the documentation in the manual says 34, so they've increased that slightly. Probably gets a little better mileage when you're at 38 compared to 34. One of the efficiency tips, of course, is to not use the brake hard to do cornerings and stop signs, but to slow down a little in advance, and that's good advice for anybody in any car. But the Volt will help you know what the correct approach speed is. It'll coach you on that very nicely so that you can become very efficient in your driving. Another thing that's nice is that the Volt, when it's on the automatic climate control, it decides when you need a little heat seat to keep you comfortable. And I just noticed that my seat heated up, and I find that rather nice. Very, very comfortable seats, and especially with the little extra warmth that provides. Of course, in the summertime, it'll be nice to have the air conditioning, but right now on this little cool Connecticut day, the heat is welcome. Now returning and parking the Volt is relatively easy. We'll just park it in the garage, and turning the Volt off is as simple as putting it in park and pressing the power button. And now the Volt is off. One last thing to do is press the little button in the door that opens the power door. And that's where we plug in the cord, which I'll do now. Once it's plugged in, the Volt toots to let you know and turns the green light on so that you know that the charge is in process. And it also gives the time frame when the charge will be complete. And for us right now, it's estimating 12 p.m., which is just a few minutes from now. So I hope you enjoyed your little trip with us, and look for other updates as we continue to get more experience with our Volt. We'll put more information out there for you. Have a great day.